Sync up the
Let's get a good clap.
every time. That was the one.
That's the one,
That was the
baby.
one.
Good afternoon, evening, my friends. Welcome to Scumbag or Scoundrel. We got
Welcome
a very
back to
welcome
Scumbag,
back.
yeah.
Scumbag or Scoundrel reboot.
Another inciting installment.
It's another exciting installment. I'm here with my good buddy Isaac Towell, co-host of the show. I'm Edward Sayers, the other co-host of the show. We got a very special goddamn guest today. One of my best friends in the whole world. Known this guy for years.
Oh,
Easily.
I thought I was your best friend as
He
well.
is so much funnier than any of my other friends.
Oh, ouch.
And but truly one of the most creative dudes I know. He's a fucking musician. He's doing some incredible screenplays, some writing, working on some shows, and he's just an all-around funny, cool, interesting guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Penn, Ben Taylor, baby.
The
here
Sean
in the
Penn
studs. What's up? How's it going, Ben?
I'm doing well. First name Sean, middle name Penn,
Last
name
name Ben
name.
Taylor.
Ben Taylor.
surname.
Also, you did do comedy for a little bit too. Like you went to the Humber program as well, which
Yeah, I was in the Humber.
Yeah.
I only was in it for like a couple months.
Yeah.
But if you guys know Patrick Stewart, he's in
I do.
commercials now.
Yes,
I was in
yeah.
his class.
He was my
The
second.
NASCAR driver?
You and I would have gone to school together had you stuck with it. We
I
would've-
think,
would've been-
yeah, you were in the other.
I was the year after Patrick Stewart.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So I would have been. You guys would have been a year ahead of me. But I actually have a memory of my father taking me down to the Yucks before ever joining the program to check out the Tuesday night Humber Yuck show, and you were on that show and you were singing about masturbating to Facebook.
Oh,
Remember that
man.
very
That's a
explicitly?
classic
Yeah,
song. There you go.
Yeah.
I just refound the chords and the lyrics to that song. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. What a classic.
Ben used to have some very funny
Facebook
music.
Skeeter.
Still does.
Yeah,
Still does.
yeah.
The
You can
Muskrat
find it.
God, Thor Franklin.
You
Ben
can find
Taylor.
it online.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it. Just look up.
You can't find that song. That's a.
Yeah, I enjoyed it though. I remember for some reason that was like one of the few bits that stuck
It's
with
a
me.
really good song.
It is
Yeah.
a really good
Yeah.
one.
It was
It's
good.
got a great
How Come Girls
chorus.
Don't Like Me was a great song too. That was a very funny one that you had.
I was really good at writing choruses at the time.
Yeah, dude.
Which translates over now to you being a musician and doing that thing,
Yeah.
doing it a little more seriously now. I imagine not doing the.
Ben's a friggin' jack of all trades. The thing I love about a lot of my friends, and it's true about Ben, is he could probably pretty much do whatever he wanted and be good at it.
Yeah.
But
Thanks, Dad. You're the
I love this
best,
guy.
Dad.
But Ben, you've I've known you forever. You used to work at what was like the craziest fucking job I had ever heard of. There's we all know sex shops, and we all know Toronto, and we all know there's fronts and there's underground businesses and things like
A lot
that.
of weird things going on.
Well, I mean, I don't know all the details.
He doesn't know
behind
all the
it, but
details. So Ben worked at a sex shop, but it also
I
provided
don't want
other.
to get a freaking hit put on.
Yeah.
He
You don't want
worked-
to fuck with the wrong people here. Yeah.
This sex
I
shop
don't even know
was,
anyone's real names.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. There's no names. This story's all made up. We're faking the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so this place offered various services. They'd sell you your dildos, your rubber fists, your handcuffs. But they also had pornography,
Yeah, it's DVDs. People
DVDs.
still buy DVDs. Turns out.
and they but the
And they
main
rent
do they
them.
realize that the internet provides all of this for free? Is that?
Well, I mean, as a viewer of internet pornography, they don't have full on 5-hour movies.
Well, that's
on-
true.
on
That's fair.
Pornhub,
I mean, usually my business is done in a matter of seconds, so I can't imagine ever committing to a full 5-hour length movie. But if that's
well,
all
some
right.
people that's what
Different
that's what
strokes.
it takes. I suppose.
Yeah.
different
many
strokes.
Yeah.
Many
Many
strokes.
strokes. That's exhausting.
But at this place, Ben, they also had the infamous jerk off booths where you
Yeah.
could rent a room.
Well, they were called viewing booths.
Yeah. So Ben, give us the details on these booths.
Well, it's a pretty small booth. There's a bench, probably about what we got here. There's 3 of us guys who definitely.
We
fit
could all
in the
jerk
booth.
off together
We
in
should
that
have
booth.
recorded this
Okay.
podcast in one of the rooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 of us guys.
I don't want to be
definitely
around
fit in
that.
there. And there were double-sized rooms. You want to bring a friend in with you,
Or a big
that
one.
sort of thing. Or
Yeah.
a big or for a big
Didn't
one.
your first day a guy tried to bring up a dog or something?
Yeah, but I learned some things about the place. People were living in there, like.
Yeah, so there was a busker.
One of the guys who worked.
Oh, hold on.
there-
Somebody tried bringing a dog into to the booth. Can we talk about that for a second?
All right,
That's your
guy-
first day.
It was, I think, my first or second day.
That's crazy.
We're going deep today,
This
guys.
guy comes in and he's got his dog with him. He's got his backpack and he's got his coat on. Like he's homeless by the seams of things. And for the most part, you spend $5. You can go up there for 2 hours, get out of the cold, watch some porn, jerk off, do some drugs, whatever. So yeah, that was kind of the case. But it was my first day, and I didn't quite realize the nature of the friggin' people were living there, and 90% of our clientele were homeless guys and stuff like that. So it was definitely a friggin' wait a minute. I had to call up to the office hey, this guy wants to bring a dog upstairs.
And didn't they say he was into bestiality stuff or something, or
the guy, they knew that he was a regular, and he's weird as fuck.
He's weird as fuck. So there is a 50% chance that he was going to bang that dog.
But I don't think we let him up that day. I don't really remember, but he came back and we let him up. And
he eventually got that dog.
He eventually got up.
Do you guys have any peanut butter around?
But
You guys don't have any peanut butter lying around.
it's the middle of winter.
Scrape it off your rat traps.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, of course.
The city's not taking care of people.
Hey, you know what?
so-
Good for you guys. Of course. It's just
And-
off-putting is all.
I remember one time going in there after a gig, going to pick you up from work or just to say hi. Must have been 2 a.m. Place is open 24 hours.
This is a 24-hour establishment. So what kind of hours
This
did you
place-
work?
I was working the night shift. I started at
Ben.
4 o'clock.
That
done
would
at
suck.
1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Usually.
Jesus.
And dude, so we go in there, and it's sketchy as fuck, obviously. It's to set the atmosphere of this place. It's just
There's a TV.
There's a
remember
TV.
sitting at the counter, and there's a TV facing me, just playing porn.
yeah. I remember Ben saying I've got fucking it warped my brain just
I'm
seeing anal all
erect
day.
all day.
So this place is it's genuinely kind of scary in there.
Yeah.
I was intimidated
That
going
seems
there.
kinda weird,
And
yeah.
so my plan was to go up to my buddy Ben working at the counter and jokingly say, "Hey, could I get 8 hours of time in a room?" On my way up, a guy in front of me literally asked for that. Says, "Can I get 8 hours in a room?" And he didn't have all the money or something. He'd be like, "I can give you 6 or something like that."
Yeah.
And then there was some guy who comes up to you and he's obviously just on the wire, fucked up on something. I remember he comes up and he goes, "Hey, have you seen Blaze? Has Blaze been around?" And you're like, "He just left." And I'm like, "What the fuck
is
is
happening?
Ben is running this goddamn fucking show."
This establishment.
And
Blaze.
And-
Must have been not Blaze. It must have been somebody I knew though.
this was and then we'll make an edit point here, but they also the illegal side of the business, which Ben had nothing to do with, and this is all made up. Some of you
This
may
is
have,
all made up.
some of you may have heard in the world of these things called poppers, and you snap them, you sniff them, and boy oh boy, your bum gets real loosey goosey. And say you got stuff to hide in there, it makes it easier for it to hide in there.
Right.
But if you snap those and you really, then you go to space. And yeah, you could still put stuff in your bum, but you get high from
Well,
it.
here's the whole story behind I don't know what they're called, but it's supposed to be an incense is the idea, and you're supposed to crack it open, and it's supposed to smell up the room, but it's like a muscle relaxer.
Right.
It was used in a lot of gay sex on
Yeah.
account of the need for muscles to relax.
Sure. Buttholes are tight. I get it.
But then it turns out, you smell that real fast. You get real high.
Yeah.
So Canada was like, all right, we can't be doing this.
Yeah.
So it's not approved by the Canada Drug Association. But these guys were making it upstairs or something.
They were making it in the sex or the jerk off booths.
No, in the sex shop, my bosses.
And they had a vape place too, right? They made their own vape juice, I read.
Yeah, it was after I worked there, but they ended up opening a bong shop and a vape store and all kinds of fucking shit.
Fuck.
Okay.
A little
Like a
empire.
Yeah.
And
If
it
you
is just a strip of
Maybe
Toronto,
I ought
yeah.
not say, but there was an internet
You can say
cafe as well.
You
Think
can
of the
say it.
opposite of Old Street.
And they only
And
So here was the setup. I was sitting at the counter.
Okay.
There's a guy next door at the internet cafe.
Right.
And works at that counter. We're counter buddies.
Okay.
Know? So the whole store is flooded with friggin' security cameras, and I got it on my computer there. I'm constantly looking at these security cameras because I can't see the whole store.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sometimes looking at the other guy's cameras for him. Like, he's sometimes looking at my cameras. I'll be like, hey, Andrew, gotta go to the bathroom and watch my cameras. Mm-hmm. That'd basically be how it went. But, like, you know, kind of the whole, like, the bosses were also upstairs watching everything on the cameras, watching everything we do. So, like, if I was pulling out my phone, they
You had
could see
cameraception here going on.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy.
Okay. All right.
So, like, you know, if I missed something on the cameras, they would see it.
Yeah, you get the phone call, right?
I'd get the
They'd call
phone
you
call.
right at the booth.
So, like, if I, like, somebody came in and they stole something, I just didn't see it or whatever, they'd be like, hey, somebody just came in and stole something. Or, like, if my count, because I had to do a count every hour.
Every hour
a
of your
physical
shift?
Count.
Well, they were probably
Something
so
like that,
like they had
yeah.
probably been robbed before and shit. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah, all the
big
time.
time, big time.
They got robbed while I was working there.
and like
because,
people have overdosed.
This
in
made
there,
up
like,
place got
this,
robbed.
This hypothetical
This
place.
hypothetical place. If you're watching this, it's
These
all made
hypothetical
up.
pirates. You know, they come in.
Okay.
Yeah, and you saw, like, man, you fucking, I've known this guy forever, and it was a stressful time for you, dude. And I didn't realize that kind of how this.
Well, it was
full-
a stressful
yeah.
place to work. But,
Yeah, man.
like, it's not like they made it stress. Like, the guys I worked with were all really great. They made me feel really safe. So, like, if there was something going down, like I'd have to throw people out every day, you know? But I wouldn't have to throw them out. I just have to call these guys upstairs.
Yeah.
2 fucking huge guys would come downstairs and throw them out. So it's like...
Right. So at least you didn't have to deal with the crazies yourself, kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't, like... I would have to go up to the booths and, like, just walk through, make sure all the doors were closed. Mm-hmm. But, like, which was fucking...
Did you ever walk in on somebody beating it?
Doors were open.
You're gonna see some dicks at this.
You
place.
saw some dicks? Any
And
nice ones?
You just knock on it and you say, close the fucking door.
Come on, man. Okay, so
I had a big old flashlight. I'd go up there with my flashlight, make sure there's fucking nothing, no funny business going on.
yeah, no dog fucking.
Didn't smell any, which all the time I'd smell like what I later learned to be the smell of crack.
Oh, okay, all
All
right.
the
All right.
time.
I thought you were gonna say crap.
Amongst the
you know
many
what?
smells.
Yeah.
Amongst
Yeah.
the many smells.
Yeah,
It's only smells.
sure.
Oh yeah, people would be like, because there's a garbage can in each of the booths.
Mm-hmm.
I never had to deal with that shit, but piss, shit, puke, fucking needles.
Yeah. I remember you taking some pictures.
Man, that
of it.
sucks. That sucks a lot. Okay, so that kind of brings us to the part like, so what is this specific isolated incident that?
Yeah, there was something you were telling me. You got one
We're here to
scumbag-
talk about.
I mean, of your many
This
stories.
specific isolated fabricated incident, which is for sure not
Of this place that's
factual.
not true.
That's this made up establishment.
This shows what kind of writer this guy
So
is.
if they're
He can write
watching
this.
it, if they're watching it, don't worry. We got our bases covered.
Well, that's the thing to understand about this place is that this is a place for scumbags, you know? Like, they paid me in cash twice a week and, like, you know.
Twice a week, though.
But, yeah, it was nice. But
Yeah.
you get half the paycheck and then...
Right.
Yeah, everything was off the books and fucking... It was Scumbag Central. Everything
for
was
sure.
designed to sell these poppers to...
Yeah, because it was like a time, like you could only sell after a certain time too. Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah. Like after 6 o'clock, like, because I started at 4, right? And I'd take off after the shift of the other guy, Andrew 5, which is
Oh man, I forgot about.
which is another.
Oh,
funny
we
story.
probably can't talk about that guy. but-
Sure we can.
Sure we can.
Yeah, sure we can.
Just say he was.
Andrew 5, if you're watching this, man, I miss you. You're a great guy. And I'm sure you're laughing too. 'cause
Yeah,
this
we went
was
through-
a
you
fucking
went through some shit
hilarious
together.
time in our life. Andrew 5, if you guys ever heard of the band Faber Drive,
Yes. Why do I know that band?
love this.
they played in Chatham a bunch
story.
of times.
Faber Drive. They were like kind of. I remember them
Yeah,
literally
they're
in
like a
elementary
punk
school.
They were the guys that when they're
Yeah.
playing the guitar, they do like this was the head movement of the time
Oh yeah.
with
big
the
time.
little emo bang fucking slap.
But this guy
Okay.
was the drummer of Faber Drive.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So
And
you worked with
me
the
and him
drummer
were
of Faber
working
Drive.
in the porn shop together. He was a great fucking dude,
Yeah.
and he would always tell me stories. He knew like fucking, what's her name? I Just Met You.
Oh, Carly Rae.
Yeah,
Just
Kelly
Met
Rae Jepsen knows
Nice.
this is crazy, dude.
her. So yeah, he knows like a lot of people. He's
Yo.
a really cool guy to talk to. But he did the morning shift, and I'd pick up after him at like 4 o'clock.
Right.
And up until 6 o'clock, people would come in and be saying, "Hey man, can I get poppers, jungle juice, whatever."
I'm sorry, you guys just sold jungle juice out of there? Like you just had like a bunch.
That was just like the brand. Like there was.
I see. Sorry, I thought you guys just had like a random bucket of like mixed liquor and juices, and I was like, that's...
Which is, I suppose, like I remember asking my dad about it, and it's like, I suppose back in the '80s, like the brand was Rush. You know, like yellow bottles say Rush on them. And, like I suppose it's just the same wrappers everyone's had. It must be this. Like I'm thinking they must be tied up with something.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know enough. They were all nice to me, so that's all I care about. That's all I care about. But yeah, people would be coming in, and I'd be like, "Oh no, sorry, I don't even know what that is. Like, can I get a popper? Like,
I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing."
Yeah.
It was like I've never even heard of that before. It's like I don't sell that. And then 6 o'clock rolls around. It's like, yeah, no problem, no problem.
Okay.
The guy would come down with they'd be in a bag or something in a tray, and he'd put them in the fridge in the back, and. Yeah, it was funny.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly this
allegedly.
Yeah.
I did not witness this firsthand.
Yeah, for sure.
Ben has never seen anything. He does not know anything.
Yeah.
I'm a dummy. But yeah, it was, it was still fun, I guess.
Yeah, interesting experience.
Like I remember
one of the best parts, we, smoke weed on the job. It was great. Guys were upstairs doing cocaine on the job too, but like
good. Yeah.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
I never touched the stuff, but
and like so a big reason why I want to bring out too is like I had almost forgotten you worked there. It was so long ago. And then I'm online one day and I find someone who had worked there after you wrote this big expose piece, allegedly, which is now been removed off the internet, but you can still find it. DM me and I'll send it to you.
What was the gist of it again though?
Like, the gist was this is a place that runs a extensive illegal underground operations.
Indentured servitude.
Indentured servitude. He said they were taking advantage of disabled people, mentally disabled people. Apparently there was some slower gentlemen working there.
My biggest thing is my boss had 2 different names, and apparently neither
of which were real. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
And he drove a fucking nice car.
And he has an apartment, like he has a nice condo.
In a fucking nice condo.
Yeah, and so I remember reading this and then realizing it's about
your
work. Yeah. And it was just like I reading it and I like, holy fuck. I couldn't believe you went through this. Yeah. And then seeing pictures of the place and having that feeling like this guy talked about some lady who had a teddy bear that she'd bring in or something. Or like a baby doll or something like that. Like just creepy fucking stuff, man. Mm-hmm. Like
the worst lady who would come in was like, prostitute. Come in with just no pants on, no nothing. And it'd be like
have it all hanging out.
All hanging out. She'd be like,
doing cartwheels.
I'm in a room with this guy, and it's just like, okay, obviously it's prostitution, but it's like. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Right. So she was coming into.
I'm also selling drugs in the place. So.
Exactly. It's like where does my moral barrier
start my job.
Here?
Yeah, that's the thing. Guys.
So basically, this.
Which at the time I had gone all over Toronto looking for places to work, but like fucking.
It's tough. It's a tough market out there for sure, and it's so literal prostitutes would come into this fake establishment. And so they would buy time because it's like what $5 for 2 hours. You said
$5.
That's crazy. So then they would go into the jerk off rooms and they would do their business there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now that we've kind of established
the atmosphere
of what this place is kind of like, we're gonna go into a story that I haven't even heard. I don't think Eddie.
I don't think I've heard it either.
So we're pretty excited to.
You can't remember all the stories. I was saying.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that went down there. Even just briefly talking outside, having a cigarette, it was like, man, I can't even imagine working in a place like that. That's a fucking nightmare. But I'm gonna give you the floor, and I'm very excited to hear what you got to say about this alleged establishment.
It's a alleged establishment. All right. So on one of my many shifts, thank you.
Got your back, buddy.
One of my many shifts, late at night, I'm sitting there. Not a whole lot of stuff is going on. Mostly sitting there drinking coffee, going pee, smoking bongs.
Yeah.
Chill night.
Yeah.
And I like to pride myself on being a good worker, but you can slack off at this place. It's fine. And I was slacking off for sure. And
for any future employers that might want to hire him, I promise he's a good worker, but
this is all allegedly. Yeah,
exactly.
Allegedly.
Don't. This doesn't reflect on me.
Yeah.
This is what they'd put up with.
Yeah.
Could you believe it?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I was looking at my cameras, and I was pretty sure I saw like somebody chilling over in the corner there, like just by the entrance of the store. And I'm like, what's going on? Is that guy gonna come in? Do I gotta do something? And like, he was there for a while.
Yeah.
And then he was gone. And then I go on my lunch break or whatever. He's like, hey, Ben, can you come upstairs on your lunch break? I'm like, oh, shit, did somebody steal something? Did I gonna steal something? I go upstairs, and turns out somebody was fucking. 2 people fucking right there.
You walked upstairs and just like...
No, the bosses had seen on the camera that guy who I saw was actually 2 people fucking in the doorway.
Oh!
And I saw it on the camera.
Yeah. You literally looked at it and you're like, rock on, dude.
Yeah, I didn't know what was happening. I was like, why is that guy standing there?
Really?
I'm sorry, they were doing
around.
that in the doorway of your, like, by the doorway of your establishment?
Just in the doorway.
That's awful. Okay.
I mean,
sorry,
I couldn't see it because it was around the wall, but there's a camera there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I should have been able to see it, as my bosses said. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I suppose the question is, are these guys scumbags or scoundrels?
Yeah.
Fucking in the doorway of my establishment.
I don't know. I mean...
My wholesome establishment.
Yeah, here's the
my
thing.
good
Like,
Christian.
This
We've
alleged
already-
business that these people are trying to bring home.
I take pride in my work.
I think that we've like solidified it. I think like this, like in any other establishment, for sure, scumbag. Like you're a psycho. But I feel like at this place, that's like to me, it's
That's
like I think
not the worst thing that's going on.
They didn't want to wait for a room.
Yeah,
They
they
didn't wanna wait for a
couldn't
booth.
wait. They're like, man, I'm not paying $5 for no room. There's a free room right here.
I'll fuck where I want. Thank you very
Nobody's
much.
looking, and I'm just sitting there. What's going on?
That's so funny. I mean, I don't know. With it, I don't know. I think the whole place is just scummy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I think
just
the
a
whole
crazy
place
fucking-
is what defines scumbag. It's just cum-stained rooms, people coming in doing drugs. They're fucking sniffing these popper things, which I'm just learning about now. That I didn't
Do
even
a
know
little
was a thing.
research. Don't ever do them.
Yeah, don't do extensive research.
Are they still selling these things? Can I go check it out?
I think the place is closed.
I
it
recently
is.
saw a for lease.
Oh,
it's actually right around the time Ed asked me to come
Yeah,
up. And
yeah.
I walked by and it was, for lease.
it's been closed down.
Yeah, because the thing in that expose is this guy who wrote this piece, he was not on the Ben Taylor have fun about it. He was like, let's fucking get the cops
Yeah, he
in
was
here.
mad about
this
it,
is an
yeah.
illegal place.
So do you think that expose is what kind of started the train of movement to get it shut down? Do you think that they were just like the owners were probably like they didn't want to deal with the heat of it?
Oh, I'm sure that was definitely a press on the gas pedal.
Because how much traction did that expose get? Like
don't
how
know.
many views
It's
or
tough to
reads
say.
did we get? Yeah.
I don't remember
know.
even where I saw it.
Was it Reddit? Was it?
It was no, it was like this guy did this. He put up a whole website for it, like that. It was on, and then the website's down now. But like I said, allegedly you can still find all these materials.
Yeah.
But
yeah, just shoot us a DM. We'll send you.
we will
the-
send it
yeah.
because it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy the shit that you fucking. would have
Honestly,
seen
when I
down
was
there.
reading in it, like, it was hard to, like, I was just looking at it, I was like, man, I can't believe how blind to all this stuff I was. Because I was just seeing it like, we're, it's a small business, we're cutting corners where we're cutting corners.
yeah,
like,
man.
everyone's pitching in where they can. No one's got a definitive job.
Well, you're going into probably with the expectation of like people are like you, and you don't like if you're like, well, why would you assume that this place is going to be run by psychopaths?
And
kind of a thing. Like,
it's we're not fucking in doorways of jerk off factories. This is these aren't your stereotypical people going in here.
I like just that's just so gross. I just like I don't just even the fucking in public space is just like I can't wrap my head around just like the gross bacteria infested
Honestly, the
areas
thing,
that
like,
you're in.
you walk by this place and you don't even want to walk in.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like,
Yeah, and because sometimes you get
just,
girls
let's
like
just go fuck
Yeah.
right here.
there was a couple times like where like people who would probably trying to find the stag shop or something would see you guys and be like, oh, maybe we can find a cheap rubber arm in here.
Yeah.
And so you probably every now and then would get like people just looking to get regular sex toys or whatever, and they walk in and they were
Yeah.
probably like, what in the? Because I remember walking in there and like, yeah, just like I remember just lots of limbs, lots of pieces of
Really?
lots of
Like,
rubber.
this
Lots
isn't
of
a bit
body
that you're
parts?
doing. There's
No,
like a
dude,
lot of
like-
like limbs in there.
Nice
Like
arms,
what?
hands like this, hands like this.
How naive am I? Okay, all right.
Oh, we gotta have a
Apparently,
show
did you
and
guys-
show
different-
episode.
did you-
different shaped hands you need?
Did you ever get like normal Joe Schmoes through there, or did people mostly know what they were walking into?
There are a handful of just like average,
Regular cool people.
Yeah, people getting like penis pills, like
Right. Oh, you guys sold like erection pills?
Oh
there,
yeah,
too?
they had
sold,
quite
like,
the arrangement.
Is that you can do that? Like that's not.
You can still buy like the blue rhino or whatever.
Yeah,
like
Blue
it's
Rhino,
not. No, who
Black
knows what's in
Mamba,
it, but you
shit
can still
that's
buy
at
that.
convenience stores.
I see. I didn't know. I thought that would have all been like you would have had to get like a prescription to receive it. I don't know.
It's like Spanish fly or something, you know.
Yeah, some of those things had really fucking creepy names. I remember that being in there, being like, "Oh man."
Did you ever try any of these penis pills? Did they work?
No, I never tried.
I never tried. Okay.
But
Did you-
apparently they're good for just like partying, like you know.
Are they? Okay.
'Cause all it does is it's just like I guess it's like taking MDMA or something.
Really, these penis pills get you high and hard. That is like the ongoing problem for most people that are too high. This is like the perfect thing. They're like, this is got whiskey dick, or you're like on coke or whatever. Just take a penis pill
really
that gets
cool,
you high.
club hopping dudes would come in, and these guys seem cool.
Yeah, like what's a night on the town if you're flaccid, really?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like-
Just walking through
You guys
town,
are,
just
you know.
erect as fuck.
And this Toronto weather, that
The kind
you
of
know,
guys who like end up at the strip club when like we struck out tonight. Fellas.
Yeah. That was a rough one, boy. Hey, next time, boy.
Let's go to the strip club.
Let's go to the Rips. Let's go to the Rips and pay people so they
Last
can't turn us
resort.
down.
And where else are you gonna find dick pills at 5 a.m? Like the
This
old
place.
The old shop on Old Street there. Well, my friend, like, did you have any regulars that were like always kind of around too that you kind of got
a
to
lot
know?
of regulars.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were saying that they were literally renting to certain people. There
Yeah,
was
like there was
this
people
room.
living in there, like
Yeah.
notorious buskers and employees and things.
And like I'd be kicking somebody out basically every single day, right? And it'd be a lot of repeat.
For what reasons? Like,
Well, this one guy specifically, for just fucking stinking.
what was the smell? Can you recall? Was it just BO or was it like dried up cum? Was it like?
It was like BO mixed with fucking everything else, you know?
Oh, I think you're getting a call there, Edwino. Why does it sound like? Why does it sound like?
It's my Find My iPhone alert.
It's like.
God,
sounds like a
damn it.
nuclear blast went off, and we're
Yeah, I
like,
know. Holy
I don't
moly.
like that sound at all.
Dude, they're listening to us.
Yeah.
brother.
They're like,
Nuclear
hey,
launch detector.
Talk about our market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you-
Dude, yeah, like I actually have a fucking thing to tell you. I think I told you this. I told Isaac. So this whole episode's been on my mind a lot, especially with the reboot. This was like, I can't wait to do this one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I are walking on the street that this shop was on. We're walking by.
That's his girlfriend.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm going to bleep her name
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
literally.
yeah.
Because bad news.
It's gonna be really funny where he goes, beep, this is my girlfriend, and then I go, or no, beep, beep, and then I go, yeah, beep is his girlfriend.
She's a very offensive name.
Yeah.
So we're walking down the
Her
street.
name is literally fuck. But it's like with a PH.
yeah. So it's cool. It's cool.
And we're walking down the street talking about
But
this.
like jarring to see on the driver's license.
And we're talking about it and not talking quietly. We're talking regular volume. We're walking by this place. There's a guy walking in front of me. Did I tell you this? Fuck, dude. This might have made you not want to do the podcast.
Hey, that's the name of his girlfriend.
I'm walking behind this gentleman, and I'm talking to Nina, and I can tell he's listening to me.
Right.
Like, you know when you can just tell someone's walking kind of too slow.
Yeah.
And their kind of ears are bending back. So I make note of this, and I kind of am like, let's get around this fucking guy. As we're walking around, he turns and looks at me, and he just goes, "Hey, these granola bars are really good." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I just wanted to let you know that," and then walked away.
Just normal granola bar talk, man. There's nothing
And this
weird
wasn't
about
like
that at all.
like an eccentric maybe a gentleman who was just like, "Oh, these granola bars." It was just like I fucking hear you talking,
Yeah.
and shut up.
Yeah.
And he was a big dude.
So who
with
do you
a-
think he was? Do you think he was like an employee there? Or do you think
I
he
don't
was
know.
a regular
That's what I
there?
thought.
Like-
That could be my paranoid little Ed brain doing circles, being
Yeah,
like
doing mental gymnastics to scare yourself into something.
But also, it was very weird, and it
Yeah.
was just a menacing looking dude. Like he was like a bigger guy with a beard. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
They're all pretty big. They all had
He could have turned out just to be honestly a granola bar
Yeah,
spokesperson.
he
That
could
was
be.
like-
The granola bar did look great.
You ever heard of Nutri-Grain? You're gonna want to try this.
Well, yeah, that happened to me. I meant to tell you about
Yeah,
that,
that's
but
weird.
your life's
That's very
probably fucking in danger, dude. So
Yeah,
I mean, you guys were all nice to me. I'm trying to speak nice about you.
You
So
honestly,
don't hurt me.
You haven't actually said anything really bad about these guys other than just what they did.
Yeah, except for the
circumstance. People do bad things.
Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
Circumstance.
Hey, life is circumstantial. I get it.
Circumstance.
You know, to quote history, he was just doing his job.
He was just following orders. He was just following orders. Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, you had to kick people out for being stinky, which is really funny.
Yeah, what are some of the regular what's?
Oh man, this guy, he was the worst. Because we would tell him specifically, the only reason we're not I don't care. You can pay me as much money as you want.
Yeah.
You smell bad.
Yeah.
You can go to the YMCA and take a shower for free.
Yeah.
Just go do that.
Is that real? You can just go to the YMCA. And
Yeah,
take a shower
dude,
for
that's
free?
an old road dog secret, man.
Sick. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Truck
Shout out to
stops as
YMCA.
It's like, the guy who was working next to me lived up in the booths. He was a great guy. Don't get me wrong, but he was homeless too, and he didn't smell bad.
Yeah, yeah, he had it figured out.
There's something to do.
I'm gonna cut just that clip. He was homeless too, and he didn't fucking stink.
You didn't fucking stink.
Yeah.
He had a job.
And honestly, this business in a way really speaks to the fucking, not to get heavy, Ed over here, but the problems in society. You guys were in a way housing the homeless a lot fucking more than this fucking city does.
A big time. As
mean?
crooked and gross as this establishment potentially was, you were still doing more for the homeless community than the city
to the wholesome
was.
aspect of it, you buy your time. You can either buy channels, you have flip through the channels of porn, or you can pick a DVD. And with both those packages, you also get regular TV.
Yeah.
So.
So they could have just sat there and watched the game if they wanted to.
The Jets are
You
on.
jack off if you want to. You're up there for 8 hours. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to always say it's like rehearsal factories, where we'd go to practice with our bands and whatnot. You'd always be like, it's just rehearsal factory for jerking off.
Yeah, jerking off and, doing your
You
drugs.
get your own little drum kit up there. Yeah.
You got to bring your own sticks.
I didn't do nothing about people smoking weed up there, but when I smelled crack, it was all right, somebody better go. Hey guys.
Were you ever
go
scared to kick anybody out? Were you ever fuck, I gotta say something?
Oh yeah, all the time, but that's just because I'm a pussy.
Well,
yeah, but
man,
I honestly at that
of these
token because
too,
I would be scared of these guys, and I'm literally twice the size of you. These guys are because when you're coming in there, you have nothing to lose anymore.
These guys treated the customers treated me with so much respect.
Really?
It was insane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were God to them.
Well, they didn't want to
he works
fuck
at
up
the
a good
porn
thing
shop.
that they had going too.
Exactly.
And
I was nice to them.
Yeah.
They were the other guy, Andrew 5. He was cool to me, but he's a bit of a dick to the customers. Because customer service isn't for everybody.
Yeah. We're not all strong at it.
Customer service isn't for everybody.
Especially when there's such a hefty amount of human make.
Ben
involved.
Taylor, customer service isn't for everybody.
It's really easy to look
That should
down.
be the title of the episode. Customer service isn't for everybody. Oh man, oh man.
But I felt at the end of the day, I felt like I was doing a good thing. I was getting these guys out of the cold.
Sure.
Giving them everything that I would be looking for if I was.
And you know what? Yeah,
homeless.
exactly. At the end of the day, especially if you're homeless, what else is there to do? If I was a homeless dude, I'd be getting drunk as fuck, getting high and jerking off all the time as well.
Fuck the laws. We weren't. I don't feel like we were doing anything wrong.
Right.
You
Okay.
know?
Yeah, morally, you felt okay with what was happening.
Yeah, it's hard to feel there's nothing you were doing that. Yeah, you're a scoundrel, Ben.
Yeah,
You're
not
a
even. Yeah,
scoundrel.
I wouldn't even really classify you as a scoundrel. You're just a nice guy
I
in a
just
weird
needed a
situation.
job.
Just
And,
be
you gotta know-
I desperately need a job. I need to pay rent in this ridiculous city.
And the thing you gotta
And the
understand,
guy who I interviewed with looked exactly like Seth Rogen. I had to do.
I remember you telling me that and you were so excited. The thing about you too, dude, is it's not.
Maybe it's just Seth Rogen running the stage. You guys want to fuck
He
upstairs?
hated it when I said, "Oh, you look exactly." He was so mad when I told him.
He's like, yeah, dude, you're blowing my cover. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about you too is it's not like you grew up in an environment where, Ben and I pretty much grew up around the same area. Ben's from Chatham area. It's not like this was something that.
Yeah. Why don't you tell the criminals where his family lives in Rose Island?
Chatham area.
Chatham area, allegedly.
Because I told them all the time because they would let me go. Oh, my parents want me to come home for the weekend. They'd be like, "Oh, no problem, Ben.
Right.
We'll do anything for you."
Yeah, like you were saying
were the
before,
golden boy.
On break too, how they wanted to treat you well because unlike everybody else, you had a stable life outside of this establishment, and they were like, man, if this kid goes missing or something happens to him, we don't want people knocking. We don't want cops knocking on our doors. We got to protect him at all costs.
Mr. Taylor's a very important man.
Yeah.
Everybody was very nice to me. I heard about some, yellings and whatever. Like even when I got in trouble, I had to talk to the boss. He didn't he was obviously mad at me and was like trying to teach me a lesson, but he, never was like, yelling at me. I never felt in danger,
threatened or whatever. Yeah.
And I was never mad that he was mad at me. Because it was always my fault.
Okay, so here's the question for you, Ed. Then, what do we think about the owners of this establishment? Are we talking scumbag or scoundrels? Then, because after everything that we just heard, because now we have 2 points of view coming from it. We have the story that we read online, which the guy was very angry at this establishment. Then we heard Ben Taylor's version of it. And it's like,
I think the guy at the very top is definitely a scumbag.
Right.
Like this is like stuff like this. It's not some guy thinks I'm going to start selling illegal whatnots taking part in.
My boss was definitely not like, top of anything.
Yeah, top of
he
the
was
chain.
definitely doing his job.
Yeah, then that's the thing. So it's like, and
he had a really good job. Turned out.
Yeah.
So who's ever at the top, whatever organization allegedly, honestly, who I think's behind this whole fucking thing?
QAnon.
No, bro. Fucking Scotty Staff, just saying.
Dude, stop throwing Scott Stapp under the fucking bus.
Oh, dude, he fucking threw himself under the bus.
He's got arms wide open to embrace you.
Dude, he's got arms wide open to sell poppers to drug addicts who need help,
so
bro.
so you think the top of the chain is a
The guy at the
scumbag?
top is a scumbag.
But you
and
think
I think
the rest,
as you work your way down,
they get a little more
that's
scoundrel-y.
just life, man. You find yourself in situations,
weird circumstances,
where holy fuck. Like honestly, is selling poppers any worse than the drug salesman who sells Oxycontin that's going to end up getting someone on heroin?
No, I mean,
that's another thing. Is like I'm sure, something happens to get you from touring with Faber Drive to selling out of
bro.
poppers out of a sack shop.
I'll tell you what happens. You fucking get a tour opening for Scott Staff, and then you're in the big
Stop
evil,
this.
baby.
You leave him alone.
I don't think the world's out to get you. Sometimes you make choices and you end up like same.
And you end up
conservative
I ended up
Ben
there
over
for
here.
probably the similar reasons.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad you got out. I'm glad you're living a different life now.
Was that the place where you had the breaking point where you were going into work and you were like, I can't do it, or was that?
That was Jack Astor.
That was Jack Astor.
You heard it here, people. Jack Astor's is worse than this fucking criminal sex
The
shop.
fucking real evil place.
I worked at the sex shop longer than I worked at Jack.
And who treated you
so
better?
funny.
Who treated you better?
Sex shop.
Fuck you, Jack Astor.
Fuck you, Jack Astor's. You're a joke.
Well, my friends.
Oh yeah, that was just like they used to bring me desserts and fucking spaghetti and shit.
Like at the sex shop?
At the
They would
sex
feed
shop,
you?
yeah. Oh yeah, they'd be like, "Hey, we're making an order. What do you want?"
You know what? This place doesn't sound
And
so
honestly,
bad.
there's probably
was not
more.
that bad.
There's probably more cocaine being done at Jack Astor's by the staff there.
Well,
than
especially the
fucking-
kitchen staff.
Yeah,
the
man.
fucking kitchen
From
staffs
what
are
I've
crazy.
heard, yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely a treat when the coworkers were doing cocaine. They were like, "Oh, dude, we're doing cocaine." Like,
Hey, dude,
they're
I'm
all
gonna
stoked.
clean it in here. We're gonna start our own sex shop, Ben. You and me.
You and me, buddy.
But then, believe it or not, I got in trouble for smoking bongs in the bathroom.
You literally have coke residue on this toilet seat. What the fuck?
You
it's
can't
like-
smell coke, Ben. You're gonna get us shut down.
You're smoking crack.
Hand in
Well,
your badge and your dildo. You're
No,
finished.
the problem
You're
was
bad,
the
you're
real problem was I was at work and these guys were off the clock.
Right. Oh, I see.
But that
All things considered, I think we
that
should
never
just
stopped him before.
let
either,
the
though.
guy smoke his fucking dope. But I think that brings us probably to the end of the episode. I think that was it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'm
Dude,
glad
I'm
you
so
came out.
glad we got you
Yeah.
on. I love you to death. We're friends for life.
Yeah.
Haven't even thought about that stuff in a really long time. So,
So
it's
we're
cool
happy to bring up
We're happy
past
to dig it
dramas.
up.
And, no, I'm just kidding.
For the love of
yeah.
God, go follow Ben on Instagram,
Yeah,
and
very
he's
funny
got
dude.
music on Spotify and all that too.
Yeah.
Like,
Is your musician name Ben Taylor as well?
Yeah, I'm sure if you do Google search for Ben Taylor, you won't find anything bad. you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Go
might find
find
like
something.
some bad art.
You might find this
that I've
podcast.
produced, but like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting canceled anytime soon.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Anytime. Well, we'll see.
Ben Taylor, uncancelable.
Yeah.
Take your best shot.
Uncancelable.
We'll see
Yeah.
you next week on Scumbag or Scoundrel. Follow us on the internet as well.
Yeah.
Good evening, my
Deuces,
friends.
baby.